Shalom, more praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Al-Rakar Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and shalom to the whole full elect. This is Payal of the GMS London camp, and this is news and prophecy, prophecy and news. I got an article here from the New York Post. The title reads, "We don't know exactly what they are." It's a quote. It says, Obama says UFO sightings appear real. I actually brought this out in a sit down I just did with the brother. I'm a one, alright? And I just wanted to go over it because I kind of pondered on it. And, certain kind of thoughts about, certain things, kind of connecting the dots. But ultimately, there's key prophecies that are being established in this being said. All right. So, Lord willing, you be edified. Let's get into it. So it says, former President Barack Obama has laughed off rumors that the U.S. government has a secret stash of aliens and their spacecraft. Yeah, that's what the narrative that's being pumped out via Hollywood. All right. In the predictive programming of movies. So that this is a question that they've cultivated in the minds of people, because where did most of these people get that idea from the TV, all right? And now that the proof of, or the acknowledgement of so-called aliens, so-called UFOs, so-called UAPs has come about, now it's brought about all this silly stereotypical questions that people are seeing in sci-fi movies, basically, alright? But it's all, Lord willing, as kind of bring this all together, is all for one purpose and one purpose alone, alright? For Esau's deception. Okay, so let's read on. So it says, while conceding that there really are UFO sightings that the government can't explain, when it comes to aliens, there are some things I just can't tell you on air. The 44th Commander-in-Chief teased James Corden in a video chat on a late show aired early Tuesday. Look, the truth is that when I came into office, I asked, Obama told a British comedian with a laugh. I was like, all right, is there a lab somewhere where we're keeping alien specimens and spaceships? And this shows you the pride of Esau, that, and to believe that there's technological advancements that have been made upon Earth that, that can combat that of the angelic beings, all right, from the fourth dimension, okay? And the reason why I say, even though they're not, they're aware that it's angels and whatever, but it's just on a simple level, like dealing with these peons. If you got spaceships, all right, or the vehicles of the of the angels, basically doing things that defy the so-called laws of physics, how on earth are you gonna catch them? All right, how? They're phasing in and out, turning into two from one, doing all manner of, just crazy stuff. How are you able to catch them and then have them restricted in some lab somewhere? But that's why I said it's about the pride of the people. That question, it don't even make no sense. So it says they did a little bit of research and the answer was no. He deadpanned to laughter. But what is true, and now this is, hitting them with the truth, all right? But what is true, and I'm actually being serious here, is that there's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. He said of growing reports of unidentified flying objects, all right? Which we know, all right, if this is your first time listening to this, all right, tune into this video. Basically, UFOs, unidentified flying objects, or the UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. All of these things, yeah, these so-called things are basically described within the Bible from the beginning, all right? When you go into the book of Exodus, it tells you about the Lord going before the children of Israel as a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, all right? It tells you about the chariots of Israel, all right, that took up Elijah, okay? And even our Lord, all right, it tells you in the book of Acts that he was beamed up into a chariot and prophesied by the angels that stood by the apostles as they gazed up that the Lord will come back in like manner. So he's coming back, and it's the key point. He's coming back in what the world ignorantly knows as UFOs, right? He's actually coming in a fathership, one so large that you can't see the end or the end or the beginning of it, all right? So it says, um, we can't explain how they moved, their trajectory. They did not have an easily explainable pattern, he said, of growing reports of sites, many recorded by the Navy. All right. Now, mind you, and this is the point I was gunning for, is why, it's really me speaking as a man, but I'm just, when you read things and it just kind of seems like that's what they're gunning for. Now, Elon Musk came out and said that basically he's pushing for the Neuralink and saying by the end of this year, around December time, they want to have someone, with a mark being a chip in their brain. And he said it's really to circumvent or to stop, with the technological advances in this digital world we're heading into, to basically allow humans to avoid Judgment Day with Terminator, all right, and Sarah Connor and all of them be safe, basically. So when Skynet goes live, you can basically go toe to toe with them, all right. That's the guys that they're going under. Now, this leads to the Navy, because they came out and they said 60% of the Navy didn't want to get implanted with the mark, all right. You know what I'm talking about, because I already said the chip, which is a mark. So I'm gonna say it's implanted with a mark, and basically, when they got implanted with the 60% were against it, but the 40% that were, they said they got it because it allowed them to know whether they had the vid, all right, the CV-19 before anyone, and basically, administer whatever, the vaccine and all that type of stuff. Okay. But it's just it would seem, how I'm looking at it is like, mind you, it's a Navy, and that's where you connect the dots. It would seem like, me speaking as a man, they're gonna say get the mark, and it'll be a safeguard. That might be one of the ways they spin it. Get the mark, and it'll be a safeguard against, the aliens, quote unquote. All right. Because remember, this man ain't gonna just tell the people, yo, take the chip. He's gonna spin it, all right, deceive them, and I'll get that in the scriptures. Let me quickly read this actually. So the book of Micah 2:1, it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. All right. They covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And this is something that Edom has been plotting, all right, in the darkness upon his bed. Devising iniquity, in the darkness, basically. That's why it says when the morning is light, they practice it, all right? So, the main point being, that Esau deception going out, all right? It's something he's planned, scheming on. So it says, I think that many people still take serious, Salakia. So I think that people still take seriously trying to investigate and figure out what that is. But I have nothing to report to you today, he said, without elaborating on his own views on the mysterious objects likely, or what the mysterious objects likely were. So it reads, it says, Obama then joked that the show's band leader, Reggie Watts, who had first asked him about them aliens might secretly be an alien. When he asks all these questions, he's deflecting, he joked, asking, do we know what he looks like behind those glasses? The former president also said life was pretty darn good. Now he has less stress, less burden, and of not being blamed for every single story in the news. I get a lot more time with Michelle, he said of his wife, saying that they also had the blessing of spending lockdown with their college-age daughters. Michelle thinks I'm a little cuter now, a little sexier, he said with a smile. All right, but they got the image there. Now, let's get into the scriptures. All right, this one first. So this is Matthew 24 and 23. So it reads, Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is the anointed, or there, believe it not. All right. For there shall arise false anointed or Christ and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders. All right. And that word for signs is the same word you found the apostle went into Simeon or Simeon or something like of that effect, basically dealing with signs and wonders. All right. In so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Now that's really what they're gunning for. Their main concern and hope is to deflect the truth away from the elect. They want to draw the elect away from the salvation of Yahweh Shai, which ultimately leads to their downfall. All right. So the whole thing is what? To deceive the elect into buying into the beast system. All right. Which actually leads me to this scripture. All right. So that's why, again, let me just go back over this 24 and 23 and 24. Go back over the scripture. Because it says, Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is the anointed, or there, believe it not. All right. Why is that being said? Because as you read on, when the Lord makes his return, it ain't going to be no secret place. It's going to be established. It tells you in the book of Revelations, first chapter, every eye shall see him. All right. So everyone's going to see the Lord when he makes his return. All right. So it says, Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is the anointed, or there, believe it not, because every eye shall see the Lord. All right. It's going to be a thing that can't be spoke against. All right. And even in that, all right, let's read on. It says, For there shall rise false Christs and false prophets. So even more so, all right, there's going to rise up false prophets and false Christs, and shall show great signs and wonders. All right, that's why you have Project Bluebeam. All right, that's one way. If you're not in the know, all right, for example, you might know the Lord is going to be seen. Every eye is going to see the Lord. But guess what? In the same token, you have to know what the Lord actually looks like. Because if they project Caesar Borgia up there, then basically, if you don't know that that's not the Lord in the Bible, then you're going to get swept away and caught out there. All right? But it says, For there shall arise false anointed, false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. All right? Because Esau's aim of the game with Esau is deception. All right? To deceive people. So let me read this. It's Revelation 13. I'm going to start from 14. All right? And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles. All right? Now, let me start from 13. All right? Well, this is talking about the beast. All right? So he's the name of the game with Esau since he's coming to power is deception. Because remember, when he came into power, he came in the period of known as Renaissance, and the word Renaissance means rebirth. All right, that's why you have a period known as Renaissance. In that period, you had the thing known as Renaissance art, but really what happened was iconoclasm. Because if you go back a few, really before that era, you had so-called black nobility, even still present at the time, all right? Because the Renaissance period was, a lot, a long period, all right? That basically iconoclasm was utilized to whitewash the imagery of the nobility in Europe at that time, and really ultimately over, great spots in great places on the earth. All right. So it says, and deceive them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which you have power to do in the sight of the beast. Now this is ultimately talking about the ICBM, all right? Even the dropping of the atomic bomb, but only when the NATO and the EU done it, or NATO more so, was when Yugoslavia bombing. So it's saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should not make an image. So it's like saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, all right? So the image is a way to, something to walk after them, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right. So that's what they want to do. All right. They deceive through the guise of deception. They establish their power so that everyone would walk after their image, and that embodies the cancel culture. The democracy, LGBTQ. Feminism, etc., etc. All this system is basically the image of the beast. But then after following the image of the beast, it leads to the mark. It says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right? And that's really where it all kind of aiming for. Because remember, you have to bear the prophecies in mind. All right? Lord willing, I kind of, something on my mind. I kind of just was meditating on it, and it just, yeah, because ultimately with this whole UFO business that they're admitting to is for them to spin it in accordance to however they please, so that I pray you edified. To the next one, say shalom, shalom.